Tonight's show is brought to you by...
All alone for Valentine's Day this year? That may be actionable. It's your friend Jimmy James here from James, Jameson, and Johnson telling you once again to get that money, honey! Did you ask a lovely lady out on a date? Did she say no? Well, now she's got a court date. That's emotional abuse. And ladies, do you have some creep in your inbox who won't take no for an answer? Hashtag harassment. Hashtag me too. Hashtag sue his ass. How about you married guys spending V-Day in the doghouse? Some slimy stripper get glitter all over you, and now your wife's trying to take the kids? Call 1-800-JUST-JIM. We'll sue every stripper in town. Hell, we'll even take their kids. One way or the other, I'm going to make everybody rich in February. Because even if no one else cares, if you live or die, Jimmy loves you. 1-800-JUST-JIM.
Welcome to the War On Morons, where we speak truth to stupidity. I'm Anissa.
And I'm Jay.
Before we get started with episode 15, we'd like to thank everyone who's joined us so far this year, who's liked and subscribed, downloaded episodes, shared our content online, and given us a recommendation. We appreciate your appreciation as the podcast continues to grow.
Yeah, and we really especially appreciate those of you who call into our hotline to contribute on the show. Of course, you can reach us at 813-906-9099. And remember, even if we're not live on the air, you can leave a voicemail. We'll happily play it on the show. And you can also write us or email us at thewaronmorons@gmail.com.
Anyway, let's get on with this week's top stories. In fact, since Valentine's Day is this Friday, we'll lead off with some special blocks of morons who prove that there's someone out there for just about anyone, at least for a while. Our first story of the night comes out of Florida, not surprisingly, where a Florida woman stunned her husband with a taser after he asked her for a divorce.
I wonder why he wanted a divorce. She seems like such a wonderful person.
Yeah, I mean, things were obviously going so smoothly that she had to arm herself with a taser. Like, geez, what the hell? She's 69 years old, too. So this is like a person who's gone a long time on the crazy train.
You know, I'm surprised she didn't just shoot him at this point.
Honestly, yeah, me too.
And they're living in a trailer park in Florida. They're damn near 70 years old. I mean, what else do they have to live for? Just shoot him next time.
To be fair, that does speak volumes to the amount of love she has for him that she didn't shoot him.
It was one of those barbed dart tasers. It wasn't even like the
oh, jeez.
Jesus Christ. They shoot like a dart into you, and it's connected by like a wire, and then it like electrocutes you.
Yikes. Okay, next story.
All right.
We have a Canadian businessman who claims to have burned $1 million in cash. Why? To avoid paying his ex-wife's child support, of course.
Okay. He burned it like he wasted it, like he spent it on strippers and iTunes.
No, he lit it on fire and burned it. Yeah.
How does that help him avoid paying child support? Now he just owes money and he doesn't have it.
I mean, I guess he thought that when he goes to the judge and told him, he literally told the judge, oh yeah, I destroyed that money, so I can't pay it. And he thought that the judge would just be like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Did he do the same thing with his assets? Like, oh no, I burned that house down. I blew the fucking car up. So obviously, I killed the kids.
My favorite part of this story is that this gentleman actually was a failed mayoral candidate. I wonder if it was his economic policies that caused him to lose the vote.
That's incredible.
Wow. Next story of the night comes out of Kansas, where a man asked a judge to let him engage in a sword fight with his ex-wife.
At least he asked for permission. Could you imagine if he just like whipped his sword out in the courtroom and was on guard?
Yeah, apparently he's requesting a formal trial by combat. So he can he doesn't want to just fight his ex-wife. He also wants to engage her attorney in this sword fight.
That's incredible. Like, these stories just get better and better and better. What's next? Like, what is next?
I don't know, but I do have to say before we move on to the next story, I am shocked that there's nothing in this article stating that this man works for a Renaissance fair. That is the only thing that would make sense, and it's not in here. So if that gentleman is out there and listening to our show, please, I know the dream career for you, man. If you want to have trials by combat and all that stuff, go join the Renaissance fair. You'll be fine.
Well, I mean, the good news for him is the judge hasn't even issued a decision yet.
What?
Yeah, it says right here, Judge Craig Dreismeyer said in a court filing that he won't issue a decision anytime soon because there's irregularities on both sides.
I'll say there's irregularities. I mean, it's pretty irregular to ask for a sword fight in the middle of a divorce trial, but how is he not shooting this down?
I mean, he's got to look into it. There's not a whole lot of precedent.
Wow. Okay, that is shocking. Next, we have a story out of Michigan where a woman was accused of biting part of her friend's tongue clean off while they were kissing.
Okay. What?
Okay, so the context here is that this woman was kissing a man. It was consensual, but she told him not to stick his tongue in her mouth. That was like her no-go, and apparently he did it anyways. So she did the thing that any rational person would do if they were, completely moronic. She bit his tongue clean off.
Yikes. I mean, this is, I like the part where it says it's a friend.
Right?
This is what happens if you leave the friend zone, guys. Don't leave the friend zone if you don't want to get your tongue bitten off.
Yeah, and no means no. If they tell you not to stick their tongue in your mouth, this is a cautionary tale.
It's a good thing that, things didn't go, farther.
Right? We'd have another, what was her name? Lorena Bobbitt? Bobbitt, yeah. We'd have another Lorena Bobbitt on our hands.
Jeez.
Yikes.
What could be, I shudder to think what the next story is going to be. The way things are going.
Oh boy, well, this one actually, I have to say, the funniest part of this story is the headline. The backstory is actually a little bit darker than what we normally cover, but the headline is great. Man tried to seduce undercover officer with chicken Alfredo.
Wow.
I mean, I'll be honest, I love a good chicken Alfredo, but I'm not 100% sure that it would work.
He's just like, look, I'll give you some chicken Alfredo. All you got to do is, come home with me.
I mean, is that technically prostitution? Like, it's payment of some sort, right?
I mean, you got to be a really pathetic prostitute. We'll work for food, apparently.
Apparently, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
So, not that we're making light of the story. The gentleman who actually was trying to pull this off, and as I'm reading this, just so everybody knows, apparently he tried to sweeten the pot by also offering Sprite.
Sprite?
So there was Sprite involved, right.
Ooh, was it like the cranberry Sprite?
I don't know. They didn't specify.
That is good.
Yeah, that is good. But apparently this gentleman, who is 23 years old, thought he was talking to a 15-year-old boy online, but it was actually, thankfully, an undercover police officer. So, they caught this guy. He's going to be labeled as a sex offender. So everything has a happy ending, but gotta say, he really set the bar pretty low.
Thank God hopefully this never has worked for him. I don't think it would. I mean, I've been a 15-year-old boy.
You don't like chicken
Alfredo that much, or Sprite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good point.
Wow. Anyway, looks like we're getting a phone call. What the hell is this area code?
Oh, it's like an international number.
International call. We're worldwide.
Mr. Worldwide. All right, let's do it. Hello, caller. State your name and where you're calling from.
Oh, it's Delilah. I'm here in Tahiti.
Delilah, aren't you the woman we blocked a couple weeks ago?
Oh, you can't block me. No, I'm a worldwide traveler. You just blocked the number in London. I'm in Bora Bora now, working on a very fantastic episode of my television program. Have you had an opportunity yet to check it out? I know you would. Hopefully you'd appreciate it.
No, I can't say that I have.
Adventures with Delilah. I travel the world sampling international cuisines, and I'm such a wonderful cook. I really wanted to call in because you mentioned the chicken Alfredo monstrosity.
Well, we certainly did. Did you have any Appropriate comments
Oh,
about
yes, 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 yes. In fact, I'm here now studying Polynesian cooking techniques. I just got done, in fact, with quite a recipe.
Oh, really? What kind of recipe are we talking about?
Oh, well, I just got done helping a couple of the big, burly tribesmen, with the tattoos on the faces and the bones and the nose. Yes, yes, I helped them spit roast a pig in their hut.
Oh, okay.
I was the pig.
Oh, Delilah, that is revolting.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I really wanted to call it and talk about that horrible man. The horrible man with the chicken Alfredo. He tried to seduce a child.
Yes, unfortunately, that's what he thought he was doing.
Well, maybe that could work on a child, but I want all the women listening to your program to know that chicken Alfredo is a terrible dish. It's terribly pedestrian. It will never work on a man. If you're preparing a Valentine's Day meal for your lover, and you present chicken Alfredo, it's a good way to get thrown out onto the pavement with a black eye.
Wow, those are some strong words, Delilah.
Yes, well-deserved black eye, maybe two black eyes, yes. But worry not, madam, because I have called you with a much better recipe. It will pave your way into any man's heart and into his bedroom.
Oh, please, not another one of your filthy sex stories, okay? I cannot.
No, certainly not. I always like to set the scene and tell you a little bit of a story, but just for you, you prude. I'll skip straight to the ingredients, okay?
Wonderful, that would be great.
Oh, okay. So, let's see. You will need a bottle of dry red wine, and being that I'm in French Polynesia, and that this is a classic French dish, I recommend a Burgundy. Also, cognac. You need some cognac, some fresh pearl onions, some button mushrooms. Oh, you'll need some bacon, some beef broth. Of course, you'll need a fresh, plump chicken.
Oh, well, Delilah, I have to say that sounds really lovely so far. What's the recipe called?
Oh, this is Delilah's famous cockle bun. It's cockle bun.
Okay.
Yes, it's inspired, of course, by an unforgettable Frenchman named Jean Baptiste, who I found living in a Peugeot on the streets of Marseille. Oh, in 1978, yes.
Oh, okay. That sounds exotic. What's a Peugeot?
A Peugeot. My God, you don't get out of the house. Peugeot is the biggest automobile company in France. My God, Jean Baptiste, he lived in a Peugeot. He lived in a Peugeot van. And I really, very much enjoyed his cock.
Oh, Delilah, that's enough.
What did she just say? What I thought she said?
Yeah, she definitely said what you think she said. I'm blocking this number too.
I mean, I can't. What is wrong with this woman? I swear, she calls us. She gets off on this or something.
Oh, absolutely. It's revolting. I guess we really didn't think this themed episode thing through well enough if it's going to lead to calls like that.
The entire call was just so she could make a dirty pun about coq au vin. Do we have any stories that aren't related to the romance stuff?
Yeah, let's move away from Valentine's Day entirely.
All right.
Let's get to a good old-fashioned Florida man story. So Florida police made a traffic stop.
Well, pause it right there. I know just from the beginning of that headline that this is going to be some shit.
Oh, it's some shit.
Florida police make a traffic stop, and it's in the headlines. I know it's going to be good. What did they do? What did they find out?
Well, they found a bag of drugs that was conveniently labeled bag of drugs.
I'm not disappointed. That's wonderful.
Yeah, it was full of all kinds of narcotics. I mean, methamphetamine, GHB, cocaine, fentanyl, MDMA, drug paraphernalia, the lot. And it was all labeled bag full of drugs. I mean, you couldn't ask for anything better than that, right?
Well, I mean, you wouldn't expect it. So, I mean, I can kind of see where they're coming from. They're like, look, we could try to hide this, but this is a lot of substances. These canines are definitely going to be able to sniff it out. Why don't we just, like, try to hide it in the open? And then maybe we can say that we're on our way to shoot a movie or something, and this is a prop.
Gotta love the criminal strategy.
Yeah, there's I can't think of any reason that this makes sense.
Isn't it ironic? All right. Our next story is a man who was flying from Toronto to Jamaica. And on the flight, he decided he wanted to make a viral video. So what did he do? Well, he stood up and announced that he had just been to Wuhan, China, and he had the coronavirus.
Oh, wow. Jay Station didn't learn from last time, did he?
Surprisingly, this wasn't Jay Station. This was actually a gentleman named, I don't even know his name. I guess they didn't want to give him any more attention than he already got.
Yeah, clearly he doesn't do well with attention.
Yeah, no. So he basically, here was his statement, because I love his statement. The quote is, what I did, I stood up, I said, "Can I have everybody's attention, please? I just came back from Hunan province, and that was it. I got the coronavirus."
Wow. I mean, what was his next line going to be if this one didn't work? Like, please, attention, everybody on the plane. I have a bomb.
Yeah, I mean, I literally don't know how it could be any worse. I mean, you can't stay in a public place that there's a fire if there's not one. You can't talk about, bombs or anything like that on a plane or in the airport. Everybody knows that. Why this guy thought it would be appropriate to state that he has coronavirus, I have literally no idea. He just did it for the likes.
You'd think he was coming from Jamaica and going to Toronto. That sounds like some shit you do when you're high.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't get arrested, to be honest. But he did manage to get the plane turned around.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ruined everybody's vacation.
Awesome.
Moving on.
Next, we have a video that showed an Iowa caucus goer trying to change her vote. So she cast her vote, but then she tried to change it after the fact.
I get it. I mean, sometimes you have some, regrets. I mean, there's a lot of candidates in this stage in an election. So, I mean, it's not that weird.
Well, the reason she tried to change her vote is because she learned that candidate Pete Buttigieg, I think I'm saying that right, Pete Buttigieg is gay.
Oh, yeah, he's married to a guy, I think.
Yeah, so she apparently didn't know that about him. And so when she found out after casting her vote, she immediately was like, oh my goodness, I have to try to change this.
Does she know she's a Democrat?
Like, it's pretty horrible to think that you wouldn't do enough research prior to casting your vote to know a very basic fact about somebody who's pretty open and honest about it.
Yeah, that's basically the only thing I know about this guy.
Yeah.
But I mean, she's a Democrat. Like, has she paid attention to her party at all, like in the last decade?
Apparently not. I mean,
she might want to change more than her vote.
Yikes. That's pretty crazy. I mean, I just don't know why somebody in such a important election wouldn't do any research at all. But that's not the only election-related or Pete Buttigieg related story we have in today's lineup.
I really hope we're pronouncing that name right.
I hope so,
Buttigieg.
too.
It looks like Buttigieg.
I don't know. I've never seen a name like that before.
I hope this guy wins the primary just because I want to see a debate with Donald Trump.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hey, shut up, Buttigieg.
Our next story relates to him, too. There is a candidate, if you're not familiar, named Vermin Supreme.
Oh, yeah, Vermin Supreme's awesome. He's this dude that wears this giant boot on his head. He's like, I guess he's kind of like a prank candidate. But I think he's serious about it. Like
what party does he run for?
I want to say that he's libertarian, but
okay.
He's one of these crazy people candidates. Like, he says that he wants everybody in America to get a free pony. He wants to raise awareness of time travel. He makes a big deal about the zombie apocalypse and making sure that we're prepared for that. I mean, he's a little bit kind of off the beaten path, I guess you could say.
So he's definitely a Green Party candidate. But apparently he blocked Pete Buttigieg's car in. And instead of being like, fight me, he was like, debate me. So he basically just blocked this guy's car and he couldn't leave and was demanding a debate with Pete Buttigieg.
Wow, he should have given him one.
I mean, it's kind of hard to not when you're blocked in, like.
Yeah, the first item on the debate is, I think you should move your car.
Right. Oh man, looks like we're getting a call in. It looks like a 303 number. Ooh, it's coming out of my hometown, Colorado.
Ooh, I bet they're going to be high.
Awesome. All right. Hello, caller. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm making a call. I'm calling the rate. Oh shit! Am I on the air?
Yeah. Hi. Who's this?
Sorry. No, I was on my other phone. Yeah, this is Doug in Denver.
Cool. Hi, Dad. Thanks for calling in.
What's up?
Yeah, we're just doing our show. Did you have something to say about one of our Pete Buttigieg stories?
Yeah. No, I liked in the beginning of the show. It was cool. Like you were saying, thank you for listening and stuff, and you wanted us to be contributing, and I wrote down the phone number. So, what's up?
Yeah, cool. Well, we're so glad that you decided to call in.
Yeah, I like the show, man. You guys are pretty funny. Like, it kind of reminds me of myself, because I'm really funny, too. Like, I'm basically, like, kind of like a stand-up comedy guy,
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Well, we have you on the air now. Do you have some jokes you want to try out?
Oh, no, I don't really do jokes, man. It's more like, like impressions.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. Like, you were just talking about, like, the president candidates, right?
Yeah.
Want to hear some impressions of the president candidates?
Sure, why not?
All right, so let's see. Who should I start? I'll start with that guy. You were just talking about him. He's like Pete Buttigieg, or a booty guy, or butt plug, or something like that.
Yeah, Pete Buttigieg.
Hi, I'm Pete. I'm Pete Butt Plug. I'm so gay. Oh God, it's fabulous. Oh, look at that guy over there. He's got such a tight butt. Oh, I'm gonna go get my eyebrows plucked because I also have a lisp because I'm gay. Oh, look at me. Oh. I'm Pete Butt Plug.
Wait a minute here. That's pretty offensive. I'm pretty sure he doesn't talk like that at all.
Well, of course he does. He's like everybody's saying he's like a homo or whatever.
Yeah, but not all homos talk like that. Oh God, I just said homo. Jesus. Let's move on from that one. Not a fan.
Right. Okay, that's cool. I can do the other guy. What's the name of the guy? I think he's winning. He's an old guy with the hair and stuff.
Oh, Bernie Sanders?
Yeah, Bernie. Yeah, I can do Bernie. You ready?
Okay.
I do a good Bernie.
Okay.
Yeah, I do a good Bernie because he ran last time. I remember. All right, you ready?
Sure.
All right. Oy vey! Oh God! I just want to take all your money. Oh, I was rubbing my hands together. Just oy vey! Thinking about it. Boys. Oh God! Oh yeah. Hugga. Oh God! They mixed up my order. I'm gonna sue them. It's worse than the Holocaust. Oy vey!
Whoa! Come on! That sounds nothing like Bernie Sanders.
No, man, it sounds just like him. Because, I mean, you know he's a Jew, right?
Yes, I mean, we're all aware, but he sounds nothing like that. You're just using hurtful stereotypes.
I thought it was funny. Here, I'll do one and you can guess who it is. How about that?
Yikes, okay. I mean, I take it this one's going to actually sound like the person, so I'll be able to guess.
Here. I'll give you a hint, all right?
Okay.
It's a woman, okay?
Great.
All right, here we go. Taco, burrito, porterinos.
What?
Taco, burrito, porterinos. Give me fajito.
I have literally no idea who that could be.
It's obvious. It's AOC.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I mean, I know you probably like. I was thinking about like you know that Elizabeth Warren.
Yeah.
I had a really good impression of her. Like, it was great, man. Like, I talked about like smallpox blankets and like teepees and shit like that. But I found out she's not a real Indian.
Dad,
Yeah.
I have to tell you, man, your impressions need some serious work because.
Oh, I got. Let me just do one more. If you don't think this one's good, like you can hang up on me. All right. Like I swear this. Like I do a really good Obama.
Really?
Yeah, he was president for like 10 years. Like I mean, I practiced it a lot. Like everybody, all my friends in Denver, like they get it. You know, like what they love it. You ready?
Go ahead, but if you
Yo, motherfucker! Hey, yo, my dog, what's up, G? Yeah, bitch. Yo, you wanna buy some crack? Yo, you wanna buy some crack, bitch, motherfucker? Yo, what's up, my nigga?
Oh my God, I just want to apologize to all the War On Moron family out there. I don't know what I was thinking letting him do that last one.
The whole thing was like the most offensive thing that we've ever had on the show.
I cannot believe that guy does stand-up comedy. He should have like 3 black eyes and broken bones by now.
Did we hang up on time? Did the word get out?
Oh God, yeah, we hung up on time. I was so ready to hang up on that dude.
We're about to get kicked off of YouTube, Facebook, everything.
Oh man, we may need to do like a 7-second delay from now on. So
yeah,
that way
we're gonna get in trouble if we keep like honestly like we like having the interaction, we like having the phone number, we want to hear from you, but why is every single person that calls in some kind of psychopath?
Open this door! Open it right now! Is someone at the door? That's it! I'm coming in! What?
Who the hell are you?
Get out of my way! I'm Penelope Croxton with the Podcasting Association! Excuse you! To tell you that this episode has really gone too far! Yes, too far indeed!
No, hold on a second. For one, I don't know how you got a key to the studio. Do you know this person?
No. I don't need a key! I'm here on good authority! Yes, I'm here as a content moderator from the network, and you've been towing the line all year, but this episode, you've really gone too far!
All right, first of all, I remember agreeing to any kind of moderate.
Stop your nonsense right now! I'll tell you exactly what you've done. Violence, obscenity, profanity, racism, ageism, sexism, homophobia, anti-Semitism. Do you two buffoons really think this is appropriate content for anyone in this day and age? I think you misunderstood.
First of all, like 90% of that was some caller.
Look. If you were in any other country, I could put you behind bars. And right now, I'm telling you this. I'm confiscating your microphones. What?
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah.
Hey. What the hell's...
Get out! I can't allow for dead air. So you just get out.
Right,
and I have another DJ.
Whatever.
I have another DJ who isn't so cavalier with his content. Now, here you are, DJ. Read these silly stories. And don't forget to plug the sponsors.
All right, now. We're on the air, right?
Yes, you are on the air, live.
All right, Penelope, PC. I appreciate the opportunity. Everybody out there in Radio Land, let me introduce you to DJ Lovestick.
DJ Lovestick?
Hey, I think you need to go. I think you need to go because she took your microphone, ho. Now, here we go. All right, give me where the papers? All right, so I'm gonna read some stories here. Normally, we don't do this kind of thing here. Actually, before I get into the news here, I'm gonna read this. All right, so, hey, let me tell you, I used to be overweight. I used to be a little hefty myself, a little fat. But I tell you, I got this thing called Chuck It Bucket. It's the best diet in the world. DJ Lovestick loves it just as much as he loves all of you and everybody out there in Radio Land, in St. Louis, and everywhere around the world. You gotta get Chuck It Bucket. Facebook.com/chuckitbucketdiet. All right. Now that that's out of the way, our first story here. All right. So a deaf man sues Pornhub over the lack of closed captioning in porn videos. I don't get it. I mean, Penelope, are we on?
What's your question?
Well, I mean, isn't this show supposed to be sponsored by a law firm?
What do you mean?
It's sponsored by a law firm, and then we're out here making fun of a lawsuit, and then I mean we're making fun of some guy with a disability. I mean maybe he wants to find out what's going on in the video. Like why did the lady order a pizza? She knew she didn't have the money to pay for it. I mean what if the delivery driver was a woman? Actually, DJ Lovestick thinks that make a pretty good scene.
Watch it now.
Oh. I'm sorry. Moving on to the next story. All right. Mexican man hospitalized with 3-day erection after taking bull Viagra. 3-day erection, that sounds like a plus to me. I mean, it's DJ Lovestick here. I mean, why would he go to the hospital over something like that? He should have gone to a whorehouse. Am I right, fellas? Especially down there in Mexico, you can get it for a nickel down there.
DJ?
Oh, I'm sorry, PC. Normally, I'm spinning tunes on KMOC in St. Louis, Missouri, and I don't get to, read stories about this kind of stuff. But hey, before I get into the next one, by the way, I got a word from the best restaurant in the world. The best restaurant I've ever been to. It's called Max Impossible Chili. They make the most delicious food. I mean, if you've ever been a vegetarian, you've ever been a vegan, and you said, oh man, I wish I could have some chili. That's what Max does for you. I really recommend you go to maximpossible.com. I love that food. I love it so much. All right, anyway, what's the next story here? All right. A girl's eyelashes ripped out after double-ended dildo hits her at Bongo's Bingo. What the hell's Bongo's Bingo? Like, literally, man, this is the weirdest show prep I've ever seen. I mean, do people actually listen to this show? If you're listening to this show, let me know, and please tell me why. Because this is weird. I mean, all right, the call-in line number is 813-906-9099. That's 813-906-9099. Call in, talk to DJ Lovestick. Why don't you tell me, what's the weirdest thing you've ever been hit in the face with? We really want to know. All right, I got one more story here. What in the world? Japanese firm holds bizarre funerals for sex dolls with a porn star officiating. What the? I don't know. I mean, I get this one a little bit. I mean, I've been to Japan. DJ Lovestick's been to Japan. But those people, man, I get it. They're weird. I mean, they're really weird. I can see why they would have relationships with a blow-up doll. Because for one thing, I mean, there's such weird people. How could anybody want to put up with them? Now, when I went over to Japan, though, I mean, this is a little bit of a side story, but I know you love my stories. When you go over there, you feel like a giant. I mean, you feel like a giant. I'm 6'1". Now, I felt like Shaquille O'Neal over there. Actually, maybe that was China. I don't know. They're basically the same thing, right?
I didn't say that.
Is that like an FCC thing? I can't say Japan and China. Same thing?
Let's move on to another story.
Okay. Oh, come on, man. I just got here. Come on. All right, I'm coming in. What the hell's going on here? Hey, Jimmy James. I'm from James Jamison Johnson. Here, look here. You see this? I don't know who the hell you are, but you need to read it. You see it?
Well, I don't know.
That's a cease and desist order. Now, before you go any farther, I happen to be the attorney
working for the War On Morons program, and I can tell you one thing right now: they don't have any kind of an oversight committee or whatever you try to say you're from. So I'd like to see your credentials.
Well, this is a ludicrous. I have to tell you, I mean, I have here on good authority.
Good authority of who?
I'm here on behalf of the Podcast Association.
Come on now, you don't have any authority to come over here stealing microphones, demanding, changing content, bringing this jackball over here. I don't know who the hell he thinks he is, but you know what? If you don't show me something, if you don't...
extremely reputable content.
Yeah, I'm sure he is. But look, honey, look, take this. You see that? You see what that is?
Oh,
Tell the people we're on the air.
how did you get my information?
Yeah, well, I'm the best lawyer in the damn country. I got your name, I got your address, I know everything about you, Penelope. And so we're going to do this the hard way or the easy way. And let me tell you what the hard way is. The hard way is I'm going to drag your ass into a courtroom. I'm going to sue you for everything you're worth. Or you can get the hell out of the studio right now.
Come on, DJ, let's go.
That's bullshit. All right, Jay, Anissa, work's done. Come on in. Oh, my God, that was crazy.
Oh, thank you, Jimmy.
What the hell? Like, where did those people even come from?
What even was that?
Hey, it don't matter. Just, put a good word in because, this was a big win for Jim.
Yeah, no kidding. It was, tell you what, Jay, I mean, do you want to do any more stories?
Honestly, no. I mean, that ate up a lot of time, and I'm kind of exhausted.
Yeah, we clearly need to beef up security around this place. So.
All right. You know what? Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Sorry that the show went a little bit awry, but we'll see you next week.
Tune in next week. Have a happy Valentine's Day.